All right, we're going to go back to the questions in a minute, but first we're going to welcome John Bateman from the Rochester Museum and Science Center. Hi, John. How are you doing?
Hi, John.
I shake your hand, but looks like you got something there.
Yeah. I have Charlie, and she is a bearded dragon.
All right.
All right, so you brought us a bearded dragon.
Yes.
All right.
So where are these guys going to be located, and where would I find one of these? In my backyard, maybe?
You would have to go to Australia to find yourself a bearded dragon. So these guys live in the interior part of Australia, in central and eastern. You're going to find them really in the desert and maybe some of the woodlands and shrublands along the edge of a desert.
Okay.
Okay, so how do they get their name? I'm like looking for a beard.
So you can't see it so much on Charlie. She's a female, but they have this area underneath their throat. And in the male, it's really black. They can puff it out, and hence the name bearded dragon.
She doesn't like going upside down, does she?
Oh, she's going to go all over the place.
Now, you're saying that the males have these. What would they have them for?
They have them for the most part to find a mate. Okay. So the females are going to be impressed by this. They can all puff that region out, though. So this is something they can use to try and scare off a predator, perhaps. Or they all kind of have their place in society, so to kind of keep the dominance and...
Okay.
But this one doesn't have the beard because it's a female.
She has a little bit.
You can see a little bit
It's a
of
little
discolor.
black. With the males, it's going to be like a jet black.
Okay. How long do they grow? How large?
This is about as big as they get. So I think there's 8 species of bearded dragons. They're going to get about a pound and between like 16 and 22 inches in length.
Now, you're saying that the bearded dragon is a reptile. That means that they're warm-blooded or cold-blooded?
They are cold-blooded, ectothermic.
And that means what?
So they get their heat from their environment. So unlike you and me, we have to eat a lot, and we get our energy from the foods that we eat. These guys, so they live in the desert. Australia, southern hemisphere, it's kind of backwards from our season. So in winter here, down in Australia, it's going to be summer. It could be 100 degrees. If it gets too hot for them, they can burrow underneath the ground.
Okay.
But say in the mornings, as they're getting ready to eat, these guys are really good climbers. They're going to go up to a tree. They can make themselves a little bit darker, and they're going to warm up that way to give them the energy to kind of go out and find their prey.
Cool.
Now, Craig's going to probably get one of these for his classroom.
Nice.
And I was just wondering a little bit more about like their eating habits, just how do you keep them warm, how do you take care of them?
Sure. So in captivity, you're going to want to have a bulb that has UVA and UVB light.
And that what does that
That
do?
helps them turn the calcium that they eat into, helps them build their bones and things like that, makes them nice and strong.
So we need some of that as well then, a little bit.
Yeah, like a little bit of UV, not a lot. So as far as diet, these guys, when they are young, they're going to eat about 80% crickets and about 20% plants and fruit. So on average, maybe a baby's going to be eating 30 to 50 crickets every day.
Wow.
When they get to about the size Charlie is, it kind of goes backwards. So they're going to be eating about 80% fruit and leaves and about 20% crickets. So maybe 50 crickets in a week is going to be enough for her.
So now if you get one of these as a pet, let's say, because I've seen those in the pet store, can I feed them vegetables that I would have at home, like lettuce and like cucumbers,
Not
things like
iceberg
that?
lettuce, but yeah, they love cucumbers. Charlie here loves sweet potatoes. She loves carrots. Strawberries, she actually, when she eats strawberries, it looks like she has lipstick on. So yeah, they love that stuff.
Now, my son actually told me, because I'm the one trying to get him the bearded dragon, dark greens, not the iceberg, but more like
not the
kale
icebergs.
and maybe spinach.
So spinach, yeah, once in a while. They really love romaine. They love red leaf, green leaf lettuce. Kale, they can eat peppers.
All right.
About anything you can buy at Wegmans, they're going to be able to eat.
Sounds good. Well, John, thank you very much for bringing in the bearded dragon.
My pleasure.
Yes, thank you. We'd shake your hands, but it's full.
Right.
Want to know more about this animal and others like it? Go to our website, homeworkhotline.org, and click on videos. And stay right there. We'll be back in a second.